Hello there and welcome to another video of A Wellness Moment. I'm Dr. Ed Traum and we're going to spend a few minutes here talking about an issue that is pretty important to all of us, and that is weight management. The CDC says that by the next year, 75% of America will be obese or overweight to obese. 75% of us adults and children will be overweight and or obese. So that is a staggering number, and it's up from 66% that was published, I think about 10 years ago, 5-10 years ago. So the interesting thing is that we are spending billions of dollars on healthcare. We're fighting over it politically, and yet people are getting heavier, and with that increased weight is the concomitant increase in morbidity. There's just no separating it. There's no stopping the flood, the tide of morbidity that's going to slam our country, actually the world, most developed worlds, because people are eating far too many carbohydrates and far too much. So we have to really make a personal decision to address our own individual weight. And in our 20 plus years of practice at 3D Integrated Medical, we've seen literally thousands and thousands of patients, and we find that it's fairly consistent with the statistics. Most people are overweight. Not everybody is obese, but most people are overweight. So what do we do about that? I have given a lecture on dieting, and maybe what I'll do is I'll put together another video on dieting, because it's an important thing. Every other month you see some new diet in a magazine at the checkout counter at whatever store you go to. And the hard, cold truth is that none of them work, because our numbers just keep going up. There's a new fad diet, and we're all familiar with this term. It's a book that sells, and people try it, and there's anecdotal success stories. So-and-so lost 50 pounds or whatnot. But ultimately, numbers don't lie. Facts are facts, and Americans are getting heavier and heavier and sicker. There's many things that go into this, and we will make other videos to address those and discuss them. But we have to accept the fact that, first off, we're getting heavier, we're getting older. Dieting doesn't work. Typically if people lose weight in a diet, they gain it right back within a matter of weeks to months. And it gets very frustrating. So it has to be a monumental mental effort. We have to make a paradigm shift. So what I did, having become overweight myself, when I was younger, I was a young strapping man of 175 pounds. I made it through the fire academy, and I got to 178 and 180 pounds. There was a lot of muscle and a lot of strength that came with that. But over my 18 years on the fire service, and as I've gotten older, I'll be 55 here in another few months, it has become harder for me to keep my weight down. I have become a little lazier in my older age. I'm not working out as much. I'm also having some foot problems. We'll talk about that. I'm having tarsal tunnel syndrome, which is keeping me from my typical hiking regimen. So what I did when we took a family vacation for the July 4th weekend this year is I did a 5-day water fast. Now, when you talk about a 5-day water fast, most people raise their eyebrows, an alarm. My God, how can you not eat? So I'm going to spend just another minute talking about that, and then we'll close up. Fasting has throughout history been one of the premier methodologies for healthcare. Fasting gives your body a break. Your digestive system gets a break. Your sugars burn off. Your cells go into what we call a autophagy mode, where basically cells are looking around and there's no sugar in the blood, and there's no protein coming in, and there's no fats coming in. So the body, all the cells of the body still need to function, and they start to say, well, if there's nothing in the blood, I'm going to start eating what's in the interstitium and inside the cell. So the autophagy means auto eating. Basically, the cells start to clean up and eat old useless protein bits that are floating around in the cytoplasm of the cell and in the interstitium. So our bodies go through a cleanup phase. So that's the most important part of fasting. Now, the big question is this. How do you handle not eating? So that's a good question. And most people are terrified of that, and it's a bit overdone. Your first day is not so bad. You get hungry at your normal times, but throw down a couple big glasses of water and it's not so bad. You get through your first day. It's your second day when you've really burned off a lot of your sugars and you start getting kind of irritable. This is common and there's no excuses for it. It just happens. You get a little irritable and you're kind of angry. You're kind of like, dang, I really want to have a big old roast beef sandwich with Swiss cheese and mayo and tomatoes and avocado and whole grain bread. Delicious. Everybody loves it. And you're kind of mad that you can't have it. But you stick it out. Get through your second day. Maybe get away from people a little bit. Go for a hike. Go camping. Go to a hotel. Go away for a day. Just don't eat. Don't be around food. Then your third day comes and you're really burning off all that excess sugar and such. And you are starting to enter a little bit of a euphoria phase. You start to actually feel good. And when you feel good, it motivates you to continue on. Now, the hunger phases do come in waves with our typical circadian rhythm, right? Our hours of the day we're accustomed to eating, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You're going to get hungry. So what you do is you throw down a quart of water. You do that before that hunger, right when that hunger starts, and when it starts again, because it's going to happen in about 20 minutes, you throw down another quart. That's a lot of water, but you need a lot of water to flush out your body. So your third day you start feeling better, and you just have to keep throwing down that water. Fourth day, walk in the park. Believe me, it's an absolute walk in the park. What you're going to find on this day, the hardest part of fasting, and this is what I say about dieting in general, or like hard dieting, fasting. The hardest part is not the hunger. The hardest part is the social aspect. When you're with your family, as I was in the mountains of Colorado over the 4th of July week, I was cooking for my family out while we were camping, and it was really, really hard for me to not engage in the social aspect of eating. I wasn't so hungry. It wasn't the hunger that was driving me. It was my social aspect. Putting food in your mouth with family and friends it's got to be some kind of a genetic, ancient instinct that gives us dopamine and it makes us feel good. So you kind of just have to be disciplined through that. Or just go away. Take a week vacation by yourself. Go to Hawaii. Go to the Caribbean. Just stay away from the look and the smell and the sound of the social aspect of eating and the food itself. It's not hard. The fifth day, you begin to feel hungry again, a little bit kind of like your second day. And you just have to tough it out. It's not that hard. Just throw down that water. And by the end of your fifth day, you can start having a little broth, like a bone broth or a soup broth, or even a light vegetable soup, something very light. You can break your fast at the end of your fifth day. Heck, you can break your fast at the end of the first day if you just don't think you can make it. But you will find, you make it through a 5-day fast, you will be amazed. I dropped 10 pounds in 10 days. Between my water fast and my breaking that fast, I ate very lightly. And then I went on the keto diet. I ate lots of avocado, lots of olive oils and eggs and bacon, just no carbohydrates. I have not had carbohydrates for 2 weeks. Actually, it's the 16th of July. So I'm coming upon 3 weeks because I started this fast on I started this fast and diet on June 30th. So I've gone almost 3 weeks, 5 days of which was on a water fast, and the remainder of which has been a keto diet. So I'm doing fine. I do miss cheesecake. I miss my Raisin Bran. We're all going to miss those things we love. But when you find out how much body fat you burn off and your clothes fit differently and you feel better in the morning, you'll be amazed. There are other benefits like decreasing the inflammatory state of your body. Your cancer cells die off. Cancer cells, most of which need sugar to survive, they just die off. So your body becomes much, much more healthy. And let me do a little caveat here. Our bodies are constantly producing mutated cells, but they're identified and killed off by part of our immune system. But when we fast and get on that keto diet, those things are very quickly eliminated. So there's one last thing I want to add before I finish, and that is the prep up. So it may not be advisable for you to start a water fast immediately of 5 days. Maybe you want to start with a 1-day fast and do that every other week. And then at the end of those, say 4 weeks, say you've done a 1-day water fast twice in a month, do it again in another month, and then do a 3-day water fast and see how it goes. You'll be amazed. The same pattern will repeat itself. The second day you'll be a little frustrated and irritable because your body wants to eat. The third day you're going to feel euphoria. Your vision clears up, your hearing seems to clear up, your sinuses clear up, and then when you're prepared and practiced and ready, do a 5-day water fast. If you have any questions about that, just ask me. I've done several of them. I try to do one a year, and throughout the year I will do periodic 1-day fasts and periodic 3-day fasts. I try to give my body a break here and there. And lastly, my experience is professionally in the clinic and personally in dieting is that the keto diet is very difficult to maintain. But if you can burn off 10 or 15 pounds, then you can kind of go back with a controlled diet on the amount of carbohydrates you're going to take in. So that is a really good technique for you to get control of your weight, your dieting, and live a much healthier lifestyle. So I'm Dr. Ed Traum with a Wellness Moment. Give us a call at 3D Integrated Medical. Come on in and we'll talk about these things, and we'll get you trained up to be a real life healthy water faster. Have a great day.